everybody, it's Todd Dills here with an extra special edition of Overdrive Radio this week. Handing the mic over to our own long-haul Paul Marhofer, and in an accompanying story you'll find over at overdriveonline.com/overdrive-extra. That's our group extra blog. Narration of the scene out at Large Cars and Guitars last month in Bristol, Tennessee, by another of Overdrive's own and regular contributor, Bobby McGee. There at the truck show, 3 drivers were recognized together for quite an astounding achievement. Personally, I can't fully comprehend what it might take to lay down 7 million safe miles over the course of a trucking career. Not sure anyone can really wrap their heads around it fully. The fact is that these 3 have all done it, with more than 21 million miles between them. And at the now many years running Large Cars and Guitars show, Candy Bass, Eddie Parrish, and Mike Brown all came together all in one place to be honored for the accomplishment. Long Haul Paul and McGee both got the chance to sit down with all 3 to deliver today with 2 perspectives on what have been, in some cases even continue to be, genuinely amazing careers over the road. After the break, meet all 3 with Long Haul Paul's take on it all. The long road to what one of the pros calls a real golden age for the work of trucking, contrary to the storm and stress of so much of our day-to-day. I hope you enjoy it, so keep tuned.
Out here, every mile matters, so make every mile count. Diesel fuel is the lifeblood of your engine, and the cleaner it is, the better your truck performs. That's why there's Howe's Diesel Defender. It removes water, boosts lubricity, and cleans your fuel system, helping you burn fuel more efficiently and get more power from every drop. Use it at every fill-up for better performance and cleaner fuel. When you're counting miles, count on Diesel Defender from Howe's. Find Howe's at retailers nationwide. Visit howesproducts.com for more information.
A few weeks ago at the Large Cars and Guitars truck show in Bristol, Tennessee, I spent a couple days with 3 of the most widely traveled truckers in transportation history. Their names were Mike Brown, who goes by Cowchip.
Truth with my hand up now. I have never had a driving test in a semi as long as I have lived.
Eddie Parrish, his handle is Tennessee Trash.
The reason I've been with First Fleet for 25 years, I live 24 miles from the terminal.
And none other than Candy Bass, well known to regular readers as the Glitter Granny.
Because you don't go across to Wyoming and you see 3 cars and 2 trucks, you're in rush hour traffic.
With well over 150 years experience between them, they were each in Tennessee that weekend to receive a special award. According to event organizer Tony Justice, each had driven 7 million miles without a chargeable accident. Turns out their canopy was adjacent to mine, as I was a hired performer for the show. So we moved some tables around and just made it all into one big tent. In speaking with these 3 remarkable drivers, it was impossible for me to not try to suss out some secret sauce to their safety success. Me, I've had some stretches of 1 or 2 million, but nothing like this. These were the Hank Aaron's and Babe Ruths of their profession. I did notice one common trait, though. To a driver, I was surprised by their universal sense of joy and optimism. It struck me that their default attitude was, in fact, gratitude. For one, trucking isn't nearly as physically difficult as it used to be.
Fast.
And how many years have you driven a truck?
51 years.
What was it like when you first started out?
I had no power steering. I had no jake brake. I had no air conditioning. I had to stand up a lot of times to turn the steering wheel because we didn't have the power steering. And I only weighed 95 pounds back then, so it wasn't easy.
I bet you had some pretty nice shoulders, some pretty... You had the Popeye forearms. And
I called my company up and told them that my arms were so sore from turning that steering wheel. He told me to take 2 aspirins and call me in the morning.
That's what he really told you?
Yes. He told me exactly that.
This got me to wonder who really owns the story of trucking in 2026. While bombast and grievance seems to get the algorithmic leg up every time I fire up my smartphone, for folks like Tennessee Trash, who has 57 years out here, trucking has never been better.
Now they talk about, the golden age of trucking. I'm just talking now, be talking. About years ago, right now's the golden age of trucking. They finally got the money up where a man don't have to run himself to death to make a living. Years ago, you run 100 hours a week and be lucky you brought home $200. It's the best time since I've been in the trucking industry because the monies, they come up with the money. The electronic logs, a lot of people don't like them. I hate the 14-hour rule, but you got to have some kind of rule. You don't have to kill yourself. The equipment, and you got a lot of companies where you got to be home every night, 2 or 3 days, or stay out as long as you want. Years ago, it was you just had to go and stay gone sometimes 2 or 3 weeks at a time.
I really like what you're saying here because that's sort of been my experience. I've got a job now where I can come and go as I please. Now, I am semi-retired. I'm not full-time like you. But if I want to be off a week, I just say I need to be off a week. Okay, call us. For me, this is about the easiest it's ever been.
I work 4 days a week. I leave on Monday, get back in Thursday afternoon, have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. I get 5 weeks vacation. And I made almost $80,000 last year working 4 days a week. And I'm still in good health. And that's why and I enjoy what I do. The company I work for, we're a core carrier for Kroger. And only reason I haul rubber out of New Orleans because they had so many trucks in that part of the country, they didn't have enough backhauls. And First Fleet made a deal with Brickstone to haul raw rubber back out of New Orleans.
Yeah. Here's something that's interesting to me. So all three of you, Mike, Candy, and yourself, you made this milestone of 7 million miles, mostly as company drivers. I wonder.
I've never been an owner-operator.
Never been an owner-operator.
I don't want one. Nowadays, years ago, if something tore up, you had to on a telephone and call somebody. Now all you do is pick up your cell phone and call.
Was this their superpower, this constant state of contentment? Was that the thing that kept them in the game for so long? For Glitter Granny, optimism was more like a personal credo.
I'll just have to say, I got up in the morning smiling and I went to bed smiling. I tried to make my day enjoyable and I wasn't going to let anybody change my mind.
But there was more to it than that. For Mike Brown, old Cowchip himself, stick-to-itiveness mattered.
Because I was raised cowboy. And anyway, I fell on hard times and I needed a job. And I'd always had my own truck. And I started out working for him hauling cattle with a Super 250 cab over International. Now, the Super 50 turned into the Fuel Squeezer 300, and it went on up. And so it tickles me now to hear the young people talk about, their truck won't run or what that, and they're sitting with 500 horses underneath the hood. The power's cut back where it won't run past the speed limit, but it'll get up a hill good.
Oh, yeah. I started off in a 300 fuel squeezer for Builder's Transport.
Yeah, I remember that outfit well.
So, can you tell me your name?
My name's Francis Michael Brown, but don't tell anybody. Everybody calls me Mike. My daddy was named Francis Selvin Brown after a traveling preacher, and he never did like it, and everybody called him from the time he was a kid Brownie, and Brownie's on his tombstone. And he had a big fuss with my mama when she named me Francis. She said no, she was proud of that name. That's what I was going to have. So,
for some reason, these 7 million milers made me think of the medieval poet Sadi Shirazi. You can find him for free online. Sadi was a wandering mystic, widely regarded as one of the most traveled men of the 13th century Persia. While most of his countrymen were lucky to make just one pilgrimage to Mecca in a lifetime, old Sadi snapped off at least 14 rounds to Mecca, mostly on foot. It was about an 8-month round trip to Mecca from Tabriz. You had your deserts, your mountains, your bloodthirsty Mongols. That was rough sledding for sure, and old Sadi walked it 14 times. When he finally stopped traveling, he began writing about what he'd learned in his journeys. His book, The Bustan, is widely regarded as one of the greatest literary masterpieces of human history. Candy Bass, Mike Brown, and Eddie Parrish, in their own right, are living works of literature. Their 21 million cumulative miles could fill many a book. 21 million miles. That's like 44 round trips to the moon. I only wish we could have hung out longer. I'm going to let old Tennessee Trash take us out with some words of wisdom.
Especially, we had a new terminal manager about a year ago. I asked him, I said, you ever drove a truck? He said, no. I said, well, you've been a terminal manager about like a nun writing a sex manual. She's heard about it, but she ain't never done it.
Here's a big thanks to Long Haul Paul and a big congrats on recognition well-deserved to old Tennessee Trash, Cowchip, and Glitter Granny. You'll find Bobby McGee's story from the awards ceremony, more about the history of each of them, starting Monday, June 22, with the post that will house this podcast at overdriveonline.com/overdrive-radio. Big thanks as always to you for listening, wherever you're getting Overdrive Radio. It's on Spotify and SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Overdrive's Facebook page, and any listening platform out there, really, including on the world-famous overdriveonline.com. Leave us a review via the platforms if you're enjoying these, and, big thanks in advance for it. Overdrive Radio is a production of Overdrive, the voice of the American trucker. It's edited and produced by me, Todd Dills, with the acoustic guitar and other support of none other than trucker-songwriter Long Haul Paul Marhofer, who we heard from today. The theme you're hearing here is Legend of the Snake Man by Marhofer himself, featuring the guitar work of Travis, the Snake Man himself, Whammock, Terry Two Socks Richardson on bass, keys by Tishomingo Jim Whitehead, and on drums, Andrew Marshall. The podcast is backed up further by Overdrive's own social media coordinator, Jasmine Campbell, senior editor, Matt Cole, executive editor, Alex Lockie, and video editors, Lawson Rudisell and Andrew Gwynn.
Old Snotties. 3, 2,
Good one there, Paul. We'll see you next week.